Hello everyone. In this session, we will take a look at a series of multiple choice questions. You would learn about what is the questions asking you about. So you would learn about how to approach this question from a knowledge. What is the question asking about? What's the topic? What's the area of competency that they want you to know? That's one, that's important. Two is how to answer the question, strategy on how to answer the question. I always tell the students to put yourself in the shoes of the exam writer. It's so easy to write the correct answer choice because that's the correct answer choice. What's more difficult for the exam writer is to select actually the wrong answers. And under those circumstances, if they select obvious wrong answers and you understand the topic, it's easy to spot those wrong answers. So it's harder for the exam writer to choose the wrong answer because they have to make the wrong answer difficult. And that's difficult by itself because the right answer is correct. They know the correct answer, they can put it. So if you understand the topic, it's easy for you then to spot what's obviously wrong. So that's what you need to know. Also, as I'm going over these questions, I will make sure I will point out what to look for in the question. For example, if there's except for, all the following are correct except, you have to be careful. Except for is you're looking for one answer, maybe 3 incorrect, 1 correct, or 3 correct and 1 incorrect. So you have to be careful what you are being asked. Always, if there is a questions with a lot of numbers, read what you are being asked first, because if the question involves a lot of financial data, they could ask you many questions. First, look at what am I being asked. So as you navigate through the data, you would start to kind of pull that relevant data that you need to answer the question. So I will show you these techniques step by step, whether you are a CPA exam candidate, CMA student, or an accounting student, or a finance student. You need to learn how to tackle multiple choice question. It's not only the topic, it's the technique, the strategy that I will show you. Let's go ahead and start to tackle these questions.
Let's take a look at this question. The question reads, if the tax rate is 30%, what amount of net gain or net loss should be reported in year 3 in Durka's income statement under GAAP? So let's see what we are giving. During year 3, the company agreed to sell the assets and product line of its Arleco division. The sale completed January 15th, year 4, and resulted in a gain on disposal of $900,000. A's operating loss were $600,000 for year 3 and $50,000 for the period January 1st through January 15th, year 5. Now, the first thing you want to be aware of is which time period is the question inquiring about. Well, they want you to know what should be reported in year 3 net income, in year 3 statement of net income. So what happened in year 3? All what we are told in year 3, obviously in year 3, the asset, the division was not sold. It was sold in year 4. So the sale will not be in year 3 at all because that's when they sold it. They sold the business in year 4. In year 3, they decided to discontinue this business. And as a result, they operated the business and they incurred a loss of $600,000. And this is for year 3. Now, in year 4, they incurred another loss of $50,000. It's when they sold, when they completed. And we were not told whether they sold it at a gain or a loss regardless. So what should be reported in year 3? What should be reported in year 3 is the loss, the operating loss for year 3. Well, you might say that's easy. That must be $600,000. And the answer is no, incorrect. Why? Because discontinued operation is reported net of tax. Net of tax. What does net of tax means? Net of tax means you had a tax savings from this loss. Yes, the company incurred the loss of, guess how much? $600,000. That's a loss. But what happened? They got a tax deduction. As a result of this loss, they reduced their taxable income. Their taxable income went down by $600,000. So if their taxable income went down by $600,000 and their tax rate is 30%, if we take $600,000 times 30%, that's $180,000 in savings. So because of this loss, they saved on their taxes $180,000. Therefore, the loss after tax savings is $600,000 plus $180,000, because the loss is indeed $600,000. Then if we add the tax savings of $180,000, we will come up with a net loss of $420,000. Therefore, the answer is B. Now, the formula is this. The formula is you take the loss and you multiply it times 1 minus the tax rate, which is 1 minus 30%, which will be 600,000 times 0.7, which is equal to 420,000. So the formula is you take the loss times 1 minus the tax rate. Because although you incurred the loss of 600,000, well, the tax savings would reduce your losses. Make sure you know what net of tax is. It means after the tax, and the answer is 420. That's my loss after the tax. Let's take a look at this question. We have this company here, P Corporation, reported the following on their income statement. Which of the following would be reported as income from continuing operation? So here what we're being asked is, what is income from continuing operation? Starting with 1. Large loss from foreign currency transaction. Do we report the loss from foreign currency transaction? And the answer is yes. Large loss, small loss from a foreign currency transaction is reported on the income statement. Therefore, if 1 is correct, 2 is out, 3 is out, we are left with C and D because they both have 1. A union strike that shuts down operation for 3 months. That happens, that's part of our operating losses. So again, that doesn't help because we have 2 here and 2 here. The question comes to the third one. Damage to a factory from flood area that never had flood damaged before. Okay, now here we have to be very careful. And the reason for this question is asking an old rule. The old rule was we had something called extraordinary item. We no longer have this extraordinary item. It used to be, for example, if the flood never happened before, it will be a separate item. It will not be income from operation. That's no longer the case. GAAP is saying there's no more extraordinary item. Therefore, if it's not extraordinary item, it will be reported on the operating from income. Therefore, the answer will be all 3, 1, 2, and 3, and you will answer the question.
If you like what you just saw, how to solve these multiple choice questions, whether you are an accounting, a finance student, a CPA exam candidate, a CMA exam candidate, I strongly suggest you visit my website for additional MCQs, video MCQs. That's going to help you whether you are a student or studying for a professional certification. The best investment you can make is invest in yourself. Check out farhatlectures.com. Start your free trial so you have access to additional resources and succeed. Good luck, and I hope to see you on the website.